Understand that you are 4 times more productive when you focus on one task instead of multitasking. Saying yes to others, in turn, actually costs you 4 times the productivity of your own goals. You have to learn that you actually can be ruthlessly selective of what you do. Everyone has the same 24 hours. If others are ahead of you, it's because they're doing things that you aren't. Welcome to the VetRise Podcast. I'm your host, Juan Perez. My goal is to make success after service accessible to every veteran in society. I believe in the power of leveraging your service, not as a label that defines you, but as a launching pad for your next chapter. What we have been doing has not been working, and it's on us to start changing the culture. Enjoy the episode, and thank you for your time. All right. Hope you guys are having the best day ever. Today, we're going to be talking about the season of no, what it takes to win. Now, not too long ago, we had a conversation about why it's okay to burn bridges. This is a different type of conversation than that. The reason I want to talk to you guys today about the season of no is because you have to take the emotion out of it. This is not about removing people from your life who are not serving you. This is not about you deciding that you have to start changing your environment. This is a non-emotional decision of understanding that if you want to win, if you want to change your circumstances of what you've been doing or how things have been happening for you, and you are currently leveling up, whether you just joined or whether you've been with us for a while, or whether you're taking on a new endeavor, starting a new business, or you want to start leveling up, you need to understand that life does work in seasons. And right now, you need to be in a season of no. You see, saying yes to yourself, that is the most rewarding thing you can do. And when you say no to other people, it's not about being negative towards them. It's about a positive towards you, because if you say no to them, you are exercising your no muscle, which means that you can use the yes muscle towards yourself at will. Why do we need a season of no? Are we in a phase right now where we are struggling to get some stuff done? Are we trying to go to the gym a little more often? Or are we trying to do a little bit better with our meal prep? Or are we trying to start learning that we need to prioritize ourselves by putting everything on our calendar? Are we trying to learn to be in a season of no? Because in the past, when we have said yes to people all the time, we feel taken advantage of. We feel like we don't prioritize ourselves. We feel like we look back and we realize that, wow, I could have been in a completely different place right now if it wasn't for me saying yes all the time. It's time for a season of no, and that's okay. There's no emotion to it. See, during my personal biggest growth periods, I've said no to friends, alcohol, social events, a lot of different things in life. I don't do vacations right now. The last time I was on a actual personal vacation was probably 2017, to be honest with you. Like, I don't do vacations. My kids are young right now. They don't need to travel. When they get older, trust me, I'll be taking a lot more vacations. But right now, that's not the time or season of my life that I'm in right now. Like right now, I am in a season of no. That is the game changer that a lot of you can start applying to your life. See, saying no feels like it hurts, but honestly, it's more of saying yes to what truly matters to you. We have to cut out the noise, cut out the crap, and focus on what really matters. What big goals do you have for yourself? What unrealistic dreams have you been thinking about for the longest that you keep putting off because you keep saying no to your dreams and yes to other people? See, losing focus means losing opportunity. And being focused isn't about only saying yes to one thing. It's not about focusing laser sharp on one thing. It's about being so focused on the fact that you're headed somewhere or you're working on something that you are focused on saying no to everything else that comes your way that isn't intentional towards that specific thing you're working towards. And that's how you prioritize yourself. That is how you focus and build. We think that we have to focus on only one thing in order for our life to get better. But the thing is, if we only focus on one thing, everything else in our life is going to be in disorder or disarray or chaos. It's about removing all of the things in your life that you don't have to focus on, learning to say no to people, to things, to events. And then we can truly build that thing that we actually want to build. So treating no and understanding that it's a power move. When we actually say no, it adds to the progress that you're trying to make on your goal. Because if we think of it in a grand scheme of things, and your goal is to lose 10 pounds, and you can say no every Friday night to your friends that want to go out, guess what? That's another workout that you can do. That is another meal prep session that you can tackle. That is another night of avoiding the alcohol that you know is not benefiting you. That's another night of staying up late and then having to wake up hungover on Saturday, and then you lose your Saturday, you don't do your check-in, whatever. We care too much about what other people think, and we forget to even care about ourselves. When we say yes all the time, it's just draining your energy and your focus, and we have a limited power of energy and focus, and we have to focus it on learning to say no. They're not going to achieve the goal for you. They might feel better in the moment. They might hang out with you. You might have a drink. You might catch up. You might have this big feast. But you are moving yourself away further from what it is you're doing. The season of life right now that you need to be in, especially if you just joined, or especially if you just renewed, especially if you're trying to level up, it has to be that you are in a season of no. You can't say no to people. It doesn't mean you have to break friendships. If they do that and they leave, so be it. But it doesn't mean that you have to be an asshole. It doesn't mean that you have to say yes to feel better about yourself. All it means is that you respect your time enough. You're putting everything on the calendar. You are being respectful about what is important to you, and you are protecting your energy. You're protecting your energy. And what is it that we can do to find the minimum that we need to avoid falling behind on our goals? Well, that means finding what is the minimum amount that we have to do for ourselves, right? But we don't want to just do the minimum. We want to do the maximum. And you have to call your shot. I want you guys to remember to call your shots. So if your goal is to be able to destroy this program and hit 3 to 5 workouts a week, then right now for the next 4 months, if you just joined for the next 2 months or 4 months or 7 months or whatever, you need to put yourself in a season of no. Because saying no to 100 good ideas that people have for you of what you should be doing with your business or what you should be doing with your time, or you should try this or you should do that, it actually helps you stay on track. And by the way, as you get better, as you start to do more from life, as you start to actually progress, guess what? There's going to be more distractions. More people are going to want your attention because all of a sudden you're in this better place and they want to spend time with you. They want to be around you. You are evolving. And a rising tide raises all ships, absolutely. But you can decide that you are still in that area of your life where you are making the progress, which means that saying no to someone isn't going to be a bad thing. Because when you say yes to someone and someone says, hey, do you have 10 minutes? Or, hey, let's grab lunch. You're not losing just the 10 minutes. You're not losing the 30 minutes on lunch. You've just lost your mental pace of where you were at, what you were doing. And now you have to prepare for those 10 minutes of what are we going to talk about? And then afterwards, they're going to give you something or tell you something or unload on you and just be negative. And now you've lost another half hour on that. And when you have lunch, if you don't want to have lunch because you're busy and you have plans and you made your meal prep and you're going to study for this, or you're going to do a workout after lunch and you have to make sure you stay consistent, you've just lost not only the workout, not your meal prep, but honestly, that lunch is not going to just be 30 minutes of good old catching up. Like, you're going to lose more than that. You have to protect your energy and stay in your lane. And what I mean by that is that you have to understand that most people fail because they do the wrong things or they switch focus too easily. So if you're thinking about this is what I need to do and this is what I have to focus on, you have to stick with your plan by following through with your calendar and staying in the game. All right, let's stop for a minute. This is the part of the episode where I ask you to do me a favor. But it's not a favor for me. It's a favor for your fellow brothers and sisters that served with you. If you know someone that has been struggling, if you know someone that has been going through it right now, and you know that they want better for their life, they just don't know how to do it, please share this episode with them. It might just be exactly what they need. That's it. That's my only ask. If you want to subscribe, I appreciate you. Thank you for your time. Back to the episode. Don't waste time on tasks that are below your pay grade. Don't waste time doing things that you don't have to do anymore. Like if you get to a point where you are leveling up, and back in the day, you used to make all your meals, but now you want to start ordering meals that are ready to go and made because you have 5 kids and it's the best way to do it, then do that. There's nothing wrong with that. You're saying yes to yourself. If you get to a point where you were doing home workouts, but now you want to start doing gym workouts, then get the gym membership. That is how you stick with your plan. That is how you level up. And we have this thing called family obligations. And that word pisses me off because it's not an obligation. It's just something that you can or can't do. It's up to you. You can say no to family obligations that don't align with your goals. This doesn't mean you shouldn't call your mom, but what it means is maybe don't call her every day. It doesn't mean you have to say no to every family event, but maybe you don't go home every single weekend. Maybe you don't spend the night when you don't want to and you have to wake up early because you have the gym scheduled in your calendar. You can say no. And what are you sacrificing? You're sacrificing the fact that maybe your family's going to be like, well, you've changed, or, oh, well, why can't you spend more time with us? Like, that's it. That is the worst that will happen. Your family's not going to disown you. They're going to make a comment. Maybe it bothers you. Maybe you learn to not let it bother you. And then you move on. Because everybody has dreams for what you should be doing that aren't your dreams. That you have to behave a certain way. That you have to say yes to everything. That if you're a good person, you have to make sure that you're never out of line. And that you're not too ambitious. And that you are a good overall human being. But like that's the problem with society, in my opinion. Is that we tend to believe that this mediocre life of what we've been living, of like, I always have to be available. I have to pick up the phone. I have to make sure that I'm there to help everybody. Otherwise, I'm not useful. Like, it's a lie. It's a lie. And successful people protect their time and they learn to say no more than they say yes. There's all these opportunities that come up for me. I'm sure for you guys as well. But I learned to say no. I can't tell you how many times people reach out to me about like, oh, I have this business opportunity, or, hey, I want you to come onto this coaching program. Like, if it doesn't align with my values, I'm not going to say yes. Because me saying yes is me taking away from what I am currently working on. And I will lose my focus. I will lose my train of thought. So either your dreams die or theirs do. Do you kill the dream that you have for yourself of what you want to build, what you're currently working on? Or do you kill the dream of what they think you should be doing? See, parents want what's best for us, right? But how do they know what's best for us? They don't. Nobody does besides you. Everybody in this world sees a glimpse of what you allow them to see, whether it's on Facebook, whether it's on social media, whether it's even in person. Nobody knows what you are going through on a day-to-day basis. Only you do. So people cannot tell you what you should or shouldn't do. And you can't achieve their dreams while you try and achieve yours. It doesn't work that way. At that point, you're just half-assing both of them. You are the one that is living your life, plain and simple. So the choice is actually simple. You have to prioritize yourself and learn that if right now you want something that you've never done before, it's going to take rare situations to get there, which means that you have to make rare decisions. Now, what is the actual true cost of saying yes? Time wasted figuring out what to say, what to talk about. Mental energy spent thinking about it after the call. Waking up with someone else's problems on your mind. The cost of switching your focus. Because believe it or not, You can't just set life on do not disturb and not expect life to try and disturb you. It's going to happen. But what do? Do you answer that phone call? Or do you have the discipline to learn to say no? You are 4 times more productive when you focus on one task instead of multitasking. You cannot do 2 things at once. For the longest, I thought that I could multitask. I thought I was the best at it. And then I realized that I wasn't. I was just always distracted with one thing or another. If you want to truly work on a project, do one thing only. Set your phone on sleep mode. Do not disturb, whatever. Put it across the room. If it is an emergency, which likely it's not, they'll call you multiple times and the call will come through. But don't go and pay attention to something or someone else. Don't try and have the TV playing in the background if you're trying to study for a test. Understand that you are 4 times more productive when you focus on one task instead of multitasking. And if you want to set a timer, fine, do that, but then follow the rules that you set for yourself. So if it's 15 minutes on, 5 minutes off, do that. If it's 30 minutes on, 5 minutes off, follow that. Saying yes to others, in turn, actually costs you 4 times the productivity of your own goals. You have to learn that you actually can be ruthlessly selective of what you do. Everyone has the same 24 hours. If others are ahead of you, it's because they're doing things that you aren't. So if you look at someone successful in an area of life that you want to be at, whether it's weight loss, whether it's business acumen, whether it's their own personal family situation, whatever, it's because they have been focusing on doing the things that you have not. Because all it takes is time and effort. Time by itself won't change anything. It's effort. Are you setting time aside every day to study? Are you setting time aside every day for self-development? Are you putting your workouts, your training on your calendar? Are you putting your meal prep time on your calendar? Everything that you want, all that it takes is for you to decide that you're going to focus on it and learn to say no to the distractions. Eliminate any room for distractions. The same way that you budget your wallet, your finances, your bank, and you want to make sure that at the end of that budget, you are actually down to zero because you have this allotted for savings, you have this allotted for groceries, this month allotted for bills, and everything is down to zero. You need to do the same thing with your time. If we open up my calendar right now, from morning to nighttime, it is completely full. From wake up time to morning prep routine to training time to 2 hours of deep work to every single thing that I have on my calendar, all the way to dinner time to bedtime, bath time with the kids. It's all in there. And you know what this does for me? It doesn't make me feel overwhelmed. It doesn't make me feel like I'm too busy. It honestly provides the clarity that I need to be able to say no to people. Because I know that Mondays are for this, Thursdays are for that, Fridays are for this. And if somebody wants to do something, they want to go to a festival, they want to do X, Y, or Z, I know what is on my calendar. I look at it, I decide what is more important to me. Am I in a season right now where I'm going to make sure that 4 months from now, I am unrecognizable, or my business has grown so much that I have success in that area? Or am I going to neglect the little things just because of that small dopamine hit of going to some festival or having a beer or hanging out with this buddy that you don't even really enjoy their company? Like, what's easier? Saying no or saying yes? In my opinion, saying no is easier because saying yes takes a bunch of energy away from you. And it's easier to change your environment than to change yourself. So if you need to get rid of all the clutter in your life, if you need to make sure that the TV isn't blaring when you're trying to study, because that is saying yes to distractions, right? If you need to make sure that your phone goes on do not disturb at a certain time of the evening, then do that. My phone is set up to where if I'm at the gym, I have a completely different home screen. By the time that I wind down for work, my home screen changes and it's pictures of my kids. Because that acts as a reminder that I need to say no to doing things at that time that are not what I want to do because I'm spending time with my kids. And this is how we do this, people. I promise you, saying no now is going to be the thing that provides a bigger yes later. You can say no to short-term distractions for long-term success. I told you guys, I have not and I will not go on vacation probably for the next year, maybe even longer, to be honest. But I know that eventually I will get to a place where I'm going on vacation 4 times a year, maybe even more. And that's okay. If I want to be a healthy version of myself, that means that right now I'm going to say no to alcohol for the next 2 years, maybe even longer. I've been doing this for 5 years now. And that's okay. Because saying no to the alcohol is saying yes to my health. Saying no to eating fast food 3 times a week is saying yes to me actually losing the 4 to 5 pounds this month that I wanted to lose. You have to let other people's dreams for you die so your dreams can live. What your parents want for you, what your friends tell you should do, your comadre or your freaking uncle telling you, hey, this is a good idea, or do this or do that. Or if I were you, what I would do, like, no, you don't even have to entertain them. Because when we entertain them, they think that they're right. They think that you want to hear more, and they're going to keep telling you their story. Say, no, you know what? Actually, I'm doing something a little bit different, but I appreciate it. But actually, that's not the direction I'm going with my business. Or, you know what? No, I don't have time this weekend. I have stuff going on. No, I won't be able to make it to the bar later on tonight. I'm busy. Like, that's it. Nobody needs to know your business. You can decide. You can focus on what truly matters to you and stick with it. And as the seasons change, as you develop this resiliency and you're not dependent on the alcohol, you can say yes to going out with your friends and having a drink here and there. But again, everything is in seasons. And you have to take action now, today, not tomorrow. Don't tell yourself, oh, eventually I'm going to learn how to say no. Like, this is it. Today. Right now, like, you have a chance to draw a line in the sand and tell yourself, I am going to stay committed to excellence and grow past what is holding me back. Saying no to others who drain you is actually saying yes to the future that you want, not just for you, but for the rest of your life and for your family and for your kids and for your partner. And that matters. So, will you let your dreams die or theirs? And that brings us to the end of another episode of the VetRise Podcast. If today's episode inspired you, made you think, or simply gave you hope, I have a small favor to ask. Share it with just one veteran or someone you think could benefit from my message. Your share could light a spark for them. You don't know who you might save. For more insights and to join our mission, follow my socials at JP the Veteran Coach and explore how we can rise together. Thank you for joining us, for being part of this journey, and for believing in the power of rising together. Until next time, keep pushing forward, keep rising, and never forget that we are stronger together. My name is Juan Perez, and thank you for your time.